We have been waiting in Trinidad, the capital of the Department of Beni, for the weather to clear enough for an hour-long flight across the Pampas. Beni is about the size of Kansas, but has only 1/10 of its population. We are traveling to Magdalena, a small village about 130 miles north-northeast of Trinidad. We need 3 planes for the 8 of us, with all of the heavy luggage that includes a field laboratory. A small ox cart was the only conveyance available, short of hand-carrying the equipment. We set up an instrument that measures and records the water temperature every hour for the next 36 hours. When using the dragnet, you must keep the floating units up and the lead weights down and tight at the bottom to prevent fish from escaping. The water level here is 24 feet higher than during the dry season. There are plenty of crocodiles and piranhas in these waters, but they are unlikely to bother us.
Das jetzt ja keinen Spaß machen. Nee. Wäre völlig uninteressant sonst. Ah. Das ist der Unbiot. Zieh mal unten richtig fest. Praxis niemals einzig. Das hast du verwurschtelt.
It looks like we caught something. The net is heavy. There's biomass, plenty of decomposing vegetation, but also many fish. Look, here is a cichlid, an Acaronia nassa, a beautiful specimen. Okay, let's try this area for a while, and when things settle down by the river's edge, we can go back there and try again. This is a very good fishing ground where the river flooded the area and increased the size of the lagoon. Small fish tend to stay in these waters protected from larger species. The best way to fish here is with the frame nets, pushing or pulling them against the shore of the lagoon. The trees here stand halfway up in the floodwaters of the river.
Ah, da geht's schon los, haben wir schon. Es schwabbelt schon, es schwabbelt schon. Ja, da haben wir wirklich. Ja, da. Diese ganze Seilen wirklich.
Another good catch. Sifting through the plant debris looking for fish. Some we keep, most we return. Here's a keeper, a Hoplerinthrenus unitariatus. The first task after bringing the fish back to base camp is to photograph them to keep a record of their look, color, and shape. This is done in specially designed field aquariums that have a movable panel that force the fish to remain in the front section of the tank during picture taking. Having the fish parallel to the image plane produces a sharper image from head to tail fin. It's important to monitor the well-being of the fish. On the first days after being caught, as they adapt to a new environment, the fish go through a period of stress, frequent defecation, and using up much oxygen. Therefore, it is important to renew the water twice a day. Every day, the researchers measure air and water qualities. They record air temperature, pressure, and humidity, also water temperature, conductivity, oxygen level, and the chemical composition of each fishing area. There are no reliable topographical maps available of this area, so we use GPS to record the exact position of every fishing spot.
Dann brauchen die da irgendwie ein paar Sekunden, halbe Minute,
Large fish are difficult to transport.
bis die betäubt sind.
They have already been photographed and are now sedated to be tagged and recorded. A small sample of fin is cut and put in alcohol for later DNA testing. After the procedure, the fish is stored in formaldehyde.
Das ist so ein ganz beliebtes Ding, dass man irgendwo was vergisst aufzuschreiben. Entweder die Nummer oder mit dem Zettel durcheinander kommt. Das bereitet dann nachher immer sehr viel Spaß, das auseinander zu sortieren.
Ja.
Wir hatten 18 über. Das kann nicht sein.
Deswegen habe ich ja gesagt, die 14, die medium
There are
size.
hundreds of fish in various plastic bags, bottles, and basins.
Ja.
The researchers have cared for them during our stay. Now the fish are distributed among them for packing and transportation home to Europe. Plastic bags made in Connecticut let air come through, but keep the water from passing out.
Und halt dann noch die Tiere wegtun.
The catch is separated into two lots, one for the University of Trinidad and one that goes back to a museum of natural history in Europe. These fish are analyzed by scientists and become part of the collection of their respective departments of ichthyology. The fish are wrapped in cloth, drenched in formaldehyde, and stored in sealed containers for transportation. After stopping by upon arrival 3 weeks ago to talk about their plans, the researchers are now dropping off half of the catch of large and small species. The universities and museums of natural history have little or no money allocated for fieldwork and are very grateful for contributions from groups of scientists that are able to self-finance their expeditions. The researchers exchange notes and trade information across language barriers. Commonly used scientific names of fish help the communication.